Hi guys, we've got another video for you here today. So I thought today I will do something like a driving test sort of video where I'm going to show you a test route and give you lots of hints and tips. So we're at Mill Hill Test Centre. I'm going to try to do it without making any mistakes. Hopefully I won't make any. So I'm going to show you some hints and tips on what to do on the driving test. So this is useful if you're from around this area, but also if you're from a different area, it's going to be very useful for you as well, because it's going to have lots of hints and tips on what to do on a typical driving test. It's going to have different roads. We're going to do a maneuver in there as well, some show me, tell me. I'm going to show you the kind of things to look out for on a test. So yeah, if you like it, please like, share, all that stuff. Comment below, subscribe, and I hope you find it useful. The first thing you want to do really when you're moving off, once the examiner told you to move off, is keep a lookout for what other people are doing around you. Like on my left there, I can see somebody doing a maneuver, and also the windscreen is quite wet, so I'm going to put the windscreen wipers on. Okay, I'm going to check around again. I'm going to put a signal on so people know what I'm doing. And I'm going to move off nice and slowly. Still keeping an eye on the other learners as well. And then through the car park here, I'm going to keep it really slow. So sometimes learners rush through here because they're just too excited to get the test started. Well, you don't want to do that. You want to move in here nice and slowly. There could be a lot of pedestrians walking about, other cars pulling in and out. So just take your time when you're coming out of here. So up ahead there, I can see a mirror on that tree, which is going to help me to see any cars coming from the right there, because there's no space for both me and them. Can I see something? I saw a car coming through, so I'm going to stop for a second. Okay, he's gone the other way. Check again, and then check my mirrors as well before I move. Then I'm going to carry on. So at the end here, I'm just going to turn left. So mirror, and then signal left. Position myself to the left, because sometimes people position themselves too far to the right here and then cause a blockage. So I'm just going to be patient. I'm looking out for anybody allowing me to come through, anybody stopping, people flashing, and when they do flash, I'm going to make sure that it's for me before I come out. And again, I'm checking left and right, because I don't want to come out when there's somebody on my left there. Okay, I'm going to keep checking. There's still cars coming from the right. Is moving off slowly, so I'm just going to turn, and usually you get to turn right here straight away. So I'm just going to position myself in this box behind this car, giving myself plenty of room. Checking the road I'm turning into, I'm positioning myself ready to make this turn. This car is letting me turn, so I'm just going to move off like that. Okay, so we're on the main roads, on the roads now really. We're out at the test centre and we're on the road already. It's quite a busy time, so you could get your test when it's quite busy like this, so just watch out for the other road users. So I know the speed limit around here is 30. It's been 30 for a while. Since we come out of the test centre, it's been 30, but there's another sign here telling me that it's 20 now. So I'm just gonna check my speed, and I'm going to make sure I'm doing 20 before I get to this 20 sign here. I'm checking my mirrors as I go around vehicles, keep my eye on my speed, my mirrors. See a pedestrian crossing coming up ahead there. I'm checking both sides, scanning both sides. Nothing for me to be concerned about, so I'm just going to carry on smoothly. Again, I'm barely touching the gas here because I don't want to go too fast. Checking my mirrors behind me as well. There's a van behind me. So now the speed limit is back to 30 again. So you got to watch out for speed limit changes. But even though it's 30, I'm not in a rush to speed up, because you can see there's islands here. There's cars parked on both sides. There's cars coming towards me. So I'm not in a rush to go to 30 miles an hour or change gear into third. I'm just going to keep it around 20. Maybe now I can increase my speed a bit because it's getting a bit more open. Check my mirrors before I increase my speed, and it's way more open now, so I can change into gear 3. Watch out for this guy, but he's stopping, so I'm not going to worry too much about him. And then again, I'm getting into a tighter spot, so I'm just going to reduce my speed slightly, maybe even touch the brake a little bit, watching out for anybody coming through, keeping on my side without getting too close to the left, because sometimes learners here, they'll either drive right in the middle of the road or get too close to the parked vehicles. And I'm looking out for anybody coming from up there. I can see some lights already. I can see some orange flashing lights, so it's probably men working in the road, some sort of construction, but I think it's like a recovery truck. And the space is quite small here, so I'm just reducing my speed, thinking about going into gear 2, check my mirrors as I do that, reduce my speed quite a bit and go into gear 2. Okay, and then I'll carry on smoothly. We're going to turn right at these traffic lights, so I'm going to check my center mirror, check my right mirror, signal right, position myself along just to the left of this center line here, and I'm just going to stop here, make sure I get into gear 1 before the light changes. I'm going to apply my handbrake and wait for the light to go green and wait for this car in the front to move. So once he's gone forward, I'm looking at the black car as well, it's where he's positioned. You see, there's not much room for me to wait behind him beyond the crossing, so I'm going to wait behind the white line, checking my center mirror to see who's behind me as well. If he moves a bit more forward, then I can go forward, but right now there's no space, so I'm just going to wait for the next light sequence. See, if I was to wait in the middle with him there, then there might not be enough time for me to turn with him, so I'll be stuck in the middle of the junction. So I'll only go forward once I can see the space beyond the dotted line there. So I've got my handbrake on again, getting my car ready with the biting point, checking my mirrors to see who's around me. I can see cars approaching from the left, from behind me on the left there. So they are probably going straight. I can see their signal's not on, so they're probably going straight. And since I'm in the front as well, I'm the first car, I'm going to pay attention to the lights. Sometimes learners get distracted, start looking around, start looking at or thinking about other things, and they don't see the light change to green, which is obviously a problem. So now it's gone to green. I'm going to move forward slowly because there's cars that are still coming from the right there. So that van shouldn't have really been there, but it's there now. So I'm going to wait here. I'm going to wait for the cars that are coming head on. I'm just going to position myself here and be ready. So the lights change, so that car should stop now, which gives me a time to turn. And as I'm turning, I'm checking for any pedestrians that might be crossing, checking my mirrors as well. Watch out for this guy's turning, slow down a bit. Then I check my mirrors again and I carry on. Okay. So here again, I'm just increasing my speed gradually, and then again, you can see the space is getting smaller because there's cars parked on both sides. I'm just going to reduce my speed slightly, checking both sides to make sure I'm not too close to the left or the right. Okay. So my speed right now, this road is 30 miles an hour, but right now it's about 20 because it's a narrow bit of road. I don't want to go too fast. Now the road's opening up a bit more, I can increase my speed. I can hear the engine roaring, so I'm just going to change into third smoothly and carry on. So around here, the examiner will say at the next roundabout, take the first exit on the left. So I know it's coming up soon, so I'm going to check my center mirror, start braking already, check my left mirror, signal left, gear down to 2. As I'm looking at the roundabout, I can see there's a bus coming from the right already. He's already indicating, so I'm just going to slow down and wait for him, see who's behind him. I'm in gear 1 now, there's nothing else coming from the right, so I'm just going to check my left mirror as I move off. The bus is pulling over, I can see the space around him, check my right mirror and go around him smoothly, and then check my left mirror back again to go back to the left. Barely touching the gas here because it's going downhill, don't want to go too fast. Again, space is getting narrow. Just gonna go slowly. Okay, I'm gonna pull over on the left. I'm gonna check my center mirror, check my left mirror, signal left, and then pull in on the left. Make sure I don't go on the double yellows. And I'll give myself some space between me and the car in front as well that's parked there. Okay. I'm just going to secure my car, go into neutral and come off the pedals. So here, first stop, could have stopped before, you might stop after. So potentially here the examiner might say to you, let's start the independent driving. I'd like you to follow signs for Egdware. So I'm going to do that now. When I'm ready, then we'll say to you, when you're ready, move off. Just going to prepare my car. There's a bus on my right. I'm just going to check all around first, starting over from my left shoulder, doing my full scan through the left mirror, center mirror, windscreen, right mirror over my right shoulder. I'm going to signal right. I can see cars coming from behind me on the right there. One more van. I'm going to check one more time because it's been a while since I last checked. I'm going to check my mirror on the right as I'm coming out. It's come out smoothly, making sure I don't get too close to that parked car over there. Second. So now I know I'm doing independent driving now. I need to concentrate on the signs for Egdware. I'm just going to carry on. So with the independent driving, if you don't see the sign, let the examiner know, because then they'll tell you where you should go. Don't go into the junction without knowing where you're turning. So if by the time you've driven for a bit you haven't seen a sign, just tell them I haven't seen a sign yet, and they might tell you, oh, it's further down, or it's in the next turn on the right. So right now the bus is covering this sign for Egdware. I'm going to check my mirrors and go around it because there's plenty of space, and then I can see the sign for Egdware is saying right. So I'm going to check my mirrors, center mirror, right mirror, signal right, and then I approach it in gear 1. It's a slight slope here, it's a bit hilly, so I'm going to put my handbrake on. Let me just close this window because it's a bit loud. Okay, so I'm going to get my biting point ready, so a bit of gas, get the biting point, and then I'm going to wait for the light to go green, and I'm going to move forward into the middle. So it's gone green, checking my sentiment, checking my mirrors, make sure there's no bikes going around me, and I'm going to position myself just here. So that car's turning, but then there's another car coming from behind him who's going the other way. So the car should be stopped now. I'm going to carry on, check my mirrors, and then I'll move off. Yeah, to gear 2. So this one's a bit bigger, this road, so I can go a bit quicker if there's enough space in front of me. But the car in front is not going that fast, so I'm not going to pressurize myself to go quickly here, because otherwise I'll get too close to him. Okay, so as we get to here, the road is going to split into 2 lanes. I'm going to check my left mirror because I want to position myself in the left lane. But then the far left lane is a bus lane, and the times I can't really see. It's actually turned around, but there's no times on there, which means you can't use it at any time. So I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to stay in this lane. At this point, the examiner might say, follow signs for Elstree. So I'm looking for signs for Elstree now. Coming up to the stop. Gear 1 before I fully stop, just so I'm ready. Gonna get my biting point, a bit of gas, checking my mirrors, and we're off. So I can see the sign for Elstree saying straight. This lane should be good for going straight. I can see on the floor there's an arrow for straight as well, so it's looking like I'm in the right lane, on the correct lane, should I say. Okay, checking my mirrors. There's a car in front trying to join our lane, so that's gonna affect me in some way, so I'm just gonna slow down, back in gear 1 again, and then handbrake up. I'm ready. Sometimes if you know the light's going to be a while, you can just go into neutral. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water so I'm not too dry. Okay, don't stay in neutral for too long if you're not that experienced, because if the light changes, you don't want to be struggling to go into gear 1. So like now the light's gone to green, I can go into gear 1, get my biting point, check the mirrors, and then move off smoothly. So here the lane on the left is going straight as well, but they're merged together into one. So I'm just going to check my left mirror to make sure there's no one cutting in from the left side there. There isn't, so that's fine. And then the guy in front, everyone's slowing down because there's a bit of traffic up there. Slowing down nice and early, keeping a nice gap between me and this car. Back into gear 1, checking my mirror seals around me. There's no bikes, no cars. The back window's getting a bit, or the back windscreen is getting a bit waterlogged, so I put the wiper on just to clear it so I can see what's going on behind me clearly. This car's trying to come out from the right side there, but they should wait. So these cars are all parked on the left. Car poking out from the left side as well. She's seen me, so she's going to wait. Quite a lot of activity here. People coming in and out of the roads. Okay, we've got a zebra crossing there too. This car's trying to creep out, but I'm just going to be confident and go. And he's seen me, okay, nothing on the crossing. Okay, so here the examiner might say pull over again, so I'm just going to check my mirrors. Center left and signal left. Using my reference point so I don't get too close to the curb. Okay, I'm just going to come to a full stop. Secure the car. Cancel my signal. And I'll wait for the examiner to say something else again. So we'll probably just say drive on again. In which case I'm just going to get the car ready into gear 1. Get the biting point, set a bit of gas. Look around again. You can see there's quite a lot of cars coming from behind. Just going to put my signal on and wait. Still quite a lot of cars. I'm just using the center mirror to see who's coming from behind. When I see a big enough gap, I'm just going to check over my shoulder one more time. I can check on the right mirror as well, just to have a better picture of what's going on all around me. Still quite a lot of traffic flow there. Sometimes you might get a big gap, or you might get someone that will stop. I can see the gap after this grey car. No, no. Sometimes you might think you've seen a gap, and then you realise it's not a gap. Don't panic, just keep evaluating the situation. And sometimes you have to wait for a long time. If it's busy, it's busy. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait. Don't feel like, oh my god, I'm taking too long, I'm going to rush out. Then that's how you'd get a serious fault for observation. So there's a big gap here. I'm just going to check my right mirror quickly, and then over my right shoulder, check my right mirror as I'm coming out, and then I'm off. No rush, no stress. Just treat it like it's a red light. If it's busy, don't stress yourself out and try to come out when there are other cars and you can see clearly that there's cars coming towards you. Here the road is nice and clear. I can get into third in a reasonable time. And also, if your mirror is getting a bit waterlogged, if you can see that the window is getting a bit too much water in it, if it's raining, you can open it. If there's nothing going on around here, so I've got time to open it and just close it again. Just sometimes that will clear your windows, just so you can have a better vision of your mirrors. And if the mirrors are really waterlogged, you can once you pull over, you can get some tissue and wipe it just so you can see better. People think this test is really strict and you can't do stuff like that, but if it helps you to see, you should do it, and just tell the examiner what you're trying to do so that you can see clearly. Okay, so we're still following signs for Elstree. Right now I haven't seen any signs. I also haven't seen any speed signs since that 30 sign, which means it's still 30 miles an hour here. There's a lot going on here. I'm just going to reduce my speed a bit, and we've got a crossing on the right there. Checking both sides, there's nothing going on. Okay, there's cars waiting to emerge from the left there. I'm just going to be ready for them. See, it's going to come out, so I'm just going to brake gradually. The other car should wait now, so I'm going to carry on. And the traffic in front of me is slowing down. I'm going to go into gear 2. It's come to a stop actually. Check my center mirror and make sure no one's too close, and get into gear 1. Check my mirrors and carry on moving. So I'm still looking out for signs for Elstree. So sometimes learners, especially if the independent driving is quite long, they forget where they're supposed to be going, or they forget that they're on independent driving. They're just waiting for the examiner to tell them where to go. If you forget just where you're going, just ask them again. They'll be happy to tell you. So say, oh, sorry, where are we going again? What sign are we looking for again? They'll tell you Elstree, or wherever you're going at that time there. So I can see there's a sign on my left there, and Elstree is straight second exit on that roundabout. It looks like quite a biggish roundabout, so I'm going to position myself to the left if there's more than one lane. Okay, we've got a pedestrian crossing here. So I'm going to secure my handbrake on. Pedestrian crossings don't take that long to change, so I'm not going to do too much. Even I was thinking about drinking some water there, but see, it's gone green straight away. Check my mirrors, handbrake down, and I'm off. So we're going Elstree, which is straight second exit. I'm going to keep to the left lane because that's the lane that you use to go straight second exit on most roundabouts. Okay, it's a bit faded here, so there's nothing coming from my right. I'm going to carry on and then check my mirrors and signal left to come off. Check my right mirror as well because there's space for cars to come from the right. And then there's a speed limit, it's a bit hidden there on the left. It says 40. So I'm going to increase my speed quite a lot because it's nice and clear. Ooh, there's a bit of water there actually. So I don't want to go too fast in this puddle. I'm going to go a bit slower. That's it. And then once the puddle's a bit clearer, I can carry on. There's also reminders on the right about what the speed limit is. So there's a reminder there saying 40 miles an hour for this road. I'm just going to increase my speed gradually, and then I start seeing other signs. A triangle warning, roundabout ahead, reduce speed now. So I'm going to reduce my speed, and then there's a sign telling us where the roundabout is, that blue sign. So I'm going to go into gear 2 because I can't really see the right properly, where cars could potentially be coming from. Just reduce my speed quite a lot, check the right properly, and I can see it's clear, and it's still 40. So I'm going to put my foot quite down. So I want to go a bit faster now. So it's going to 30, 35, 40. Okay, so we're doing the speed limit now. So there's nothing really going on here. So sometimes you can go, depending on this car doesn't, sometimes it's quite struggles in gear 4 for on hill. So I'm just going to leave it in third as we go up this hill, because I don't want you to struggle. And I do like this bit of the road here. It's like a little tree tunnel here. It's really nice. But I'm going to keep it in third as we go up this hill. We don't want to make the car struggle too much. We've also got some other warning signs there telling us the junction coming up. So another flashing sign saying elderly people around. So I'm just going to reduce my speed slightly as we go through this junction. There's more cars coming out on the left there. And then around here, the examiner might say, well, they will say follow signs for Central London. This sign is a bit hidden, and most examiners will tell you that it's a bit hidden as well. So I'm going to look out for it as we go through. I'm not going to be doing 40 miles an hour now because we're coming up to a bend, so I'm actually going to slow down by braking a bit. I don't want to go too fast around this bend, even though the speed limit is still 40. So I'm going to check for that sign, and it's to the right, third exit, so the roundabout is just there. I'm going to check my center mirror, check my right mirror, and then I'm going to signal right. Approach it in second gear as usual. Just keep slowing down, checking the right. There's cars coming from there. They're going the other way. I'm going to carry on. Okay, keeping to the right for now. And then when I get to around this sort of position here, I'm going past the second exit. I'm going to check my mirrors, signal left, keep checking my left mirror, and then I'm come off from the left side. Now this road, I'm going the dual carriageway now. And if I look, I didn't really see any signs, but there's another sign on the lamppost, a really tiny one, saying this is a national speed. It's a very small sign there on the right. So I'm going to keep increasing my speed, get into gear 4. There's quite a lot of traffic there now, so I'm just going to reduce my speed from early. Okay, I'm just going to change lanes because there's cars emerging from the left on that side there. Just going to slow it down. It's really busy here. Normally this bit is really clear. So normally at this stage you'd be doing like 60 miles an hour or so down this road. You should be. But right now obviously it's chock-a-block, which happens sometimes on your test. You can get into situations where there's lots of traffic. You just have to deal with it accordingly. And when you're going fast, it's good to notice things from early. You don't want to notice it too late and then you're going super duper quick and then you realize that you should have slowed down much earlier. Because obviously at higher speeds your car will take longer to slow down. Okay. And this is a national speed road, but we're doing right now like 7 miles an hour because it's like crawling traffic. So once you're in this sort of situation, don't feel like, oh my god, this is a fast road, I got to go fast. Why am I going slow? You can't go fast because everyone else is going slow. So just be comfortable with going slow at this stage. I see quite a few signs there saying, I don't know if you can see in the camera there. Just gonna have a little bit of water. The throat is getting a bit dry. So here you want to be checking for cars and bikes weaving in and out of traffic when you're moving, because bikes do that a lot. Sometimes cars will be changing lanes around here as well. So see quite a lot of signs here. I think it's telling us that the dual carriageway is coming to an end, and then we've also got a sign on the floor, a little arrow telling us that this lane is merging with the lane on our left. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but my clutch is down most of the time here because I don't really want to be going too quick here, and it's kind of stopping and starting quite a lot. So when it's time for me to brake, because I'm in gear 1, my clutch will be down, because if I don't have the clutch down, I could stall at this sort of speed here. So I'm already starting to check my left mirror. There's a van on my left here. He's gonna go in front. There's a blue car behind. I'm gonna just keep checking my mirror, make sure that they know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna be too aggressive with them. I'm not gonna try to force my way over. I'm just gonna keep an eye on them to make sure that we're on the same page, and he's letting me go or she's letting me go, and that's great. So if you're confident enough to like say thank you to drivers, do it. So I'm just gonna give you a little thank you, but it's not necessary. Some people jeopardize their test just to say thank you. They'll be like, oh thank you, and then they lose control of the car and then they'll get a fail. You don't want to do that. Just let the examiner say thanks for you if they have to, if they want to. I know some people, they feel guilty for not saying thanks. They feel like, oh maybe I don't know, they might fail the test for being rude or whatever reason, but honestly you're better off controlling the car rather than saying thanks to somebody. If you can manage both and you're comfortable to do it, then do it. If not, it's not a big deal. Just leave it alone. Okay, the traffic's starting to move again. Bearing in mind it's still at national speed, so now it's the single carriageway because there's no barrier between us and the cars going the other way, and there's still signs for national speed. So if this was clear, I would be aiming to do like 60 miles an hour. Obviously it's busy right now. The van in front not going too fast. It's still increasing their speed, and still following signs for Central London. So I'm gonna keep looking out for those signs. There's a sign on my left there saying it's the left first exit on the roundabout. Okay, so I know I'm approaching it soon. I'm gonna be checking my mirrors to see who's around me. I can see the speed is changing as well to 50 miles an hour now. I'm going to check my mirrors and signal left because I know it's on the left first exit. I'm going to approach it in second gear like we always do, and I can see the sign on the floor saying London this way. And then if I see on the floor here, I don't know if you can tell, but this lane separates us from the rest of the roundabout, so I don't have to wait for anybody coming from the right. I still have a little glance just in case people have made a mistake and come into my lane, but it should really stop there if people are coming from the right, because they shouldn't be coming into that lane anyway. I'm just going to build up my speeds to 50 miles an hour. So around here the examiner will say something like, we're going to turn right at the second set of lights. Because they're quite close to each other, I'm going to signal from around here, check my mirrors, and then move over to the right lane. They will tell you nice and early so that you can be in the correct lane early. You don't want to wait until you get to the second set of lights to then start moving over to the right lane, because there won't be enough time, which is why the examiner will tell you before the first set of lights. So they'll say at the second set of lights we're turning right, which means basically move over when it's safe to the right lane, because there won't be enough time for you to do that safely once you go past the first set of lights. Some examiners will give you like a little hint. They'll say, we are turning, I recommend you move to the right lane because we are turning right. I know before they just used to tell you turn right at the next set of lights, and then you have to know that you have to move over to the right lane. Okay, mirror checks again for anybody going past. So bear in mind, we're not going right at this set of lights, the second set of lights. If you're unsure, again ask the examiner and they will clarify where you're supposed to be turning, but we're not going here, so I'm just going to keep in this lane because that lane over there on the right is for turning right at these set of lights. I'm just going to be careful as I approach this, make sure it's going good. So I'm going to check my centre mirror and I can stop smoothly. So there, it was green for a long time, so that's why I was saying I'm just going to be a bit careful, because when it's green for a long time like that, they tend to change. So approach it in a way that you're ready to stop if it does change to red. So I know a lot of people struggle with when to stop when it's orange. It's just, I think with that one it's a matter of practice and picking a point of no return. So once you approach a set of lights and you know once you get here you're not going to stop. I hadn't reached that point when I brake just now, so I knew I could still stop if it was to change to orange. And I checked my center mirror just to make sure the guy behind me is not too close, because that will affect how I brake. Okay, it's gone green, so I'm just going to move again once I've checked my mirrors. Gear 2. I'm not going to go mad with the speed here, because as you can see there's cars in front going slowly anyway, so it doesn't make sense for me to go really fast. And now I know I'm going to be turning right at these lights, because these are the second set of lights. I'm just going to check my mirrors and signal, and there's a lane there for people that are turning right, so I'm just going to check my mirror and then go into that lane nice and early. I'm not going to wait all the way until I get over there to turn into this lane, because then people behind might go in there before me, and it will be very tricky for me to go over to that lane. Yeah, and that lane, I'm here now ready to turn right. I can put my handbrake on, come off the brake. All the time I'm checking to see what's going on around me. A lot of learners just get too relaxed to just focus just on the front. Be aware of what's going on near you. Are there cars trying to turn? Are there cars trying to come into your lane? All that kind of stuff, because that will affect how you drive. Okay, see the lights are changing. Just gonna get ready. Put my handbrake put my hand on the handbrake before. Check my mirrors again, and we're off. Second gear, because it's a nice wide turn. I'm going to take it nice and slowly. I'm not going to rush this turn. And then I'm going to take the next road on the left. So mirror, mirror, signal left. It's quite a sharp turn, so I'm going to go into gear 1 for this. Clutch down, brake, and then bring the clutch up as I turn, checking my center mirror. And we're off back on the quiet roads, or the slower roads. What you need to be really careful of is once you come off the roads, especially the dual carriageway, tell yourself that you're on the slow roads again and not to go too fast. Okay, so here the examiner will probably say pull over on the left, it's in a safe place. Check my mirrors, and I pull over on the left without getting too close. All they might say is pull over on the left, ignore the driveway, because there's not much room here. So I'm just gonna ignore this driveway and park next to this driveway, because I don't want to get too close to that taxi, because of what we're about to do in a second. Okay, so we're going to do, I'm going to do a parallel park. So this is quite a common place for examiners to bring you to do a parallel park on this route. So I'm just going to, the examiner will say something like, shortly I'd like you to carry out a parallel park exercise. I'd like you to pull up alongside that car there, or the taxi, reverse into the space in front of it. You can finish anywhere within 2 car lengths, which means basically you can finish within 1 car length of it or 2 car lengths away. Basically what they're saying is don't finish too far away. So some people think that it means you should finish 2 car lengths away. It doesn't mean that. You can finish anywhere within 2 car lengths. And then they also might say something like, on this occasion you can ignore the driveway, so you can finish blocking the driveway, but then don't drive onto the driveway. Basically means you can finish blocking the driveway, but because it's a dropped curb, it's very easy for you to drive onto without realizing. So just giving a little extra warning there. Okay, so I can see on my right there, my mirror is a bit waterlogged, and my window is a bit waterlogged as well. So I'm just going to open it again, just on the left side. I'm going to check it, open it, so it can clear some of that water. All right, so once I'm ready, get my car into gear, look around. There's no one really for me to signal for, so I'm just gonna check my right mirror again, right shoulder again, and then move slowly to position myself next to this taxi, 1 meter away, not too close. And then I'm gonna stop there because I want a slight hill. I'm gonna put my handbrake on, get into reverse. Sorry. I'm gonna look around again, get them biting points on the hill, handbrake down. When I get to like here, my turning point, I'm gonna turn 360 turn to the left until I'm facing 1 o'clock in the road here. At which point I'm gonna, you notice I keep checking all around as well. I'm gonna straighten my wheels back again. You can see a car just turned into this road here, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I think they're waiting for me up there. So once I get to here, I'm gonna turn 1 more turn to the right, and the car's going past me, so I'm gonna stop for them now, let them go past all the way. I'm gonna check all around again, keeping an eye on that small mirror, and then I'm gonna turn a bit more, and then once it's straight, I'm just going to straighten up my wheels, check who's behind me, and stop. So I'll let the examiner know I'm finished by securing the car like that, and it's done. So then the examiner will say, okay, thank you, just did it correctly, we'll drive on again. So I'm going to get into gear 1, check all around, open my right shoulder again, I'm going to move off slowly because there's a hill again, checking over, nothing's coming, and we're off. Check my mirrors again, and we're going to turn right at the end here. So mirror, mirror, signal. Coming up to quite a blind spot here. It's a bit of a closed junction. Can't really see on the left there properly because of parked vehicles. I'm going to creep out slowly. So I'm going to stretch. I can see some lights coming from the right hand side. So I'm just going to stop, let them go past. Check for any more movement. It's looking a bit clearer. Move out. Check in and then off. I'm not going to rush here because it's again, it's a narrow road, but once I can see it's a bit more open, second gear, mirror checks, and we're off. Checking mirrors again. Okay, I can see some movement over there, some car reversing, and there's another car coming through. I'm just going to reduce my speed, slow down, see what they're doing, get into gear 1. Give the other car some space. Check my right mirror. Keep making eye contact with the other driver on the left there, just to make sure that he knows I'm about to move off, so that he doesn't move off when I'm moving off as well. So here's quite a narrow road. This is still a 30 road, but I'm just going to keep it at around 20 because it's very narrow. I'm going to turn left at the end here. So mirror, mirror, signal. Again, go into gear 1 because it's quite busy here. Checking the right from early, there's traffic coming from that side. Waiting for a nice gap. Again, if you can't see because there's water on your window, you can open it a bit. Checking both sides. Not rushing to come out here if it's busy. I can see a nice gap after this last car here. I'm going to check my left side just before I move off. Bit of gas. I'm not going to come out of it too fast because I don't want to go on the other side of the road by accident. Once it's nice and straight, I can add more gas, gear up, and go off. Car reversing into my path, so I'm going to slow down, give them plenty of room to do what they need to do. Get into gear 1, and then check my mirrors, and then carry on. So by now it's coming up to like near the end of the test. We've done most of the stuff we need to do. Or they might ask you to do a show me question as well. They will ask you to do a show me question. So they might say something like, well, can you show me, when it's safe, can you show me how you would open and close your windows? We've done that plenty of times, so let's do something else. When it's safe, can you show me how you would turn your headlights on, for instance? So you just make sure it's safe first. Don't do it when you're turning or when it's busy. Wait for a safe place to do it, but when the road is a bit wider, there's not much going on. So like here, for instance, I can do it. I can just boom, and it's on. So here the examiner might say something like, we're going to turn left and then right at the next roundabout, but I recommend you stick to the right as we approach the first roundabout. So I'm going to signal left, but I'm approaching it from the right, from the right side, because I know I'm going to be turning right straight away. Check my right side, because then I can aim straight for the right lane, mirror check and signal right. Checking the right. Double roundabout, check both of them individually. And we're off. Nice and clear road. I'm going to increase my speed into gear 3. But I'm seeing something flashing up there, and then I can see why it's flashing, because there's a 20 sign there warning drivers to slow down. So I'm going to reduce my speed, get into second gear. Before I get to the 20 sign, I want to be doing 20. So like around here, I'm doing 20 now. And the flashing sign has stopped because me and the car behind are doing the right speed. I'm going to keep it at 20 until we go past another sign that says a different speed limit. So I can see a 30 there. Sometimes learners will see that sign and start putting their foot down way too early. You don't want to do that because you're going to be breaking the speed limit. You do that after you've gone past the 30 sign, then you can start thinking about increasing the speed if it's clear. Like here it's clear, I can increase my speed a bit more. So I'm doing about 25, going up to 30 now, but then I can see it's going into a bend. I can reduce my speed a bit more. And there's more going on now. You can see it's getting a bit narrower. I'm on opening the door, so I'm going to reduce my speed even more, just covering my brake, braking on gently. And then at the roundabout, turn right, so I'm going to check my center mirror, right mirror, signal right, check the crossing before I get there. I can see quite a lot of traffic coming from the right side, so I'm just going to get into gear 1 and be ready for a space. So this guy's blocked up the roundabout a tiny bit. You can see that now there's a bit of room. I'm going to move in there slowly, let this guy go because he's already there, and I can carry on. Okay, coming up to there, basically back towards the test centre now. This roundabout coming up has claimed a lot of tests because people get too relaxed and they think, oh my god, yes, I smashed it, I passed. And just go back in there, finish it off, but then they forget to deal with this roundabout properly. Either they miss it or they just get too excited they don't see it. But it's clear, it's got a sign there, so you need to slow down properly, check the right, make sure there's nothing coming from there. This bus is going to be blocking anybody there, and there's no one there, so I can carry on. And then I'm going to turn next left, so I'll check my mirrors, signal left. It's a very sharp turn, so I'm going to go into gear 1 and then go in there really slowly, watching out for anybody that might be coming through. And I'm going to use that mirror again. I can see there's no one coming through, so I'm just going to go slowly, watching out for any pedestrians, any other cars. See these cars coming through slowly as well. Well done, mate. Keep it nice and slow all the way to the end. No rush. Sometimes people do fail in the test centre when they've nearly finished the test. It's happened lots of times, so be careful. Don't relax too much until you've actually turned the engine off. So the examiner will probably say something like, just pull into the right. You don't have to, it's not really a parking exercise, you're just trying to get out of the way. So just check your mirrors, signal right, and then just drive in. So you're not trying to do a bay park here, you're just trying to get out of the way so that other cars can go past. What you want to be careful of is that you don't hit that fence. So go really slowly in here, control your clutch well, and then stop way before the fence. Handbrake on, neutral, and then once you're done, switch the engine off. Okay, so that's it. Hope that was useful for you. Some hints and tips there for you. Best thing you can do really is practice with your instructor. Have lots of practice around the area so you know all the little tricky bits as well. Obviously for me, I'm a bit more experienced, so it's quite easy for me to do that, but with enough practice you can do the same as well. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. I'll see you on the next video.